Let me welcome you very warmly indeed to Christchurch. Thank you so much for giving up the evening to be with us. From time to time, we put on events like this where we can come away from the busyness of life, gather together and consider the big questions. And I guess there is no bigger question than how we can face death with hope. Death is unsettling. It reminds us of our own mortality. Death is awful. It separates us from those we love. And so the fear of death can leave us, even if we're pretty stoical individuals, rather quivering like jellies, especially when it's the death of a loved one. And I guess that's why it remains one of the last taboo subjects in our culture. People don't like talking about death. And even though we're going to be discussing it this evening, we don't want to minimize the pain and the suffering that goes with that subject. But we do want to provide an opportunity to consider how we can face death with confidence, with peace, with hope. And we're really grateful to Jeremy Marshall for joining us this evening to help us to do that. So Jeremy, come up and join me. Let me introduce Jeremy to you. Jeremy is married to the lovely Jeanette. He has 3 grown-up children and he lives in sunny Sevenoaks. Although he would probably say at times he feels like he lives down the road at the Royal Marsden, he actually does live in Sevenoaks most of the time. I was thinking this morning, what would Jeremy want us to know about him? I think he'd want us to know that he's a passionate supporter of Watford Football Club, and no doubt has been much rejoicing in their recent run of good form. He has been at various times in a banking career chief exec of Credit Suisse, and more recent...
Not Credit Suisse, no.
The
UK bit.
The private bank, but of the private bank. Chief bottle washer at Credit Suisse, and chief exec of the long-standing family bank, C. Hoare & Co. All that changed 5 years ago when Jeremy was diagnosed with cancer, and 3 years ago he was confronted with the news that he had about 18 months left to live. So it is a joy to have you with us, Jeremy, still. I hope you can see why he's a great person to help us consider this question this evening.